About to address now that event, closing the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children.
Thank you. Siyabonga. Thank you, Rialebo. Bayesu. The president of the ANC Women's League and the entire leadership of the Women's League here, from national and provincial. Chairperson of the ANC in this province, Comrade Ace Makashule, and the entire provincial leadership of the ANC. Traditional leaders who are with us here, faith-based organizations, community members, and all formations that are here, and indeed the young people who are here. Bakayesu tumelang. Lika. Lipulantle. Sisintle seo. Rialebo. Rialebo ho. Ka fela tsatsi le na ga jeno. Pili tsatsi hey, it's serious. Firstly, before I say anything, leadership, the President and the Deputy President, Secretary General of the Women's League, and Atema Khashule, the leadership here. You are something else in the Free State. You are something else. You are unique. If you want to see what we always talk about, nation building.
Well, those are the live pictures there coming from Butlukong in Bethlehem in the Free State. That's where President Jacob Zuma has just started speaking on the closing of the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. And we will take you back there as soon as we re-establish our link. But the live pictures still coming in from Butlukong in Bethlehem. Let's return there now to hear what the president is saying.
The street kids throughout the country, if we have a program designed in the manner in which we have designed your program, we should take what we are doing indeed as an example of how you build a nation, because you don't build a nation out of old people. It is the young people that need to be shaped for leadership in all aspects of society. Thank you very much for this good example. I'm absolutely happy to see this as we celebrate the 20 years of our Constitution. We greet you all today on an important day as we mark the 20th anniversary of the signing into law of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The Constitution is indeed the birth certificate of our democracy, of our country, South Africa. We are conveying one theme of a message today to all South Africans, because our Constitution is the cornerstone of our nation, of our constitutional democracy. It is the supreme law of the land. All laws passed by Parliament produced by government must be in line with the Constitution. They must be designed to bring about the good life and dignity defined in our Constitution. ANC President Nelson Mandela signed the Constitution into law on the 10th December 1996 here in this very important country, South Africa, in Sharpeville, in a historic place which also saw an agreement after the Anglo-Boer War, when all four republics were put together into one Union of South Africa. In addition to this milestone, the 10th of December is also observed by the international community every year as International Human Rights Day. It commemorates the day in 1948 when the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This year, the International Human Rights Day is celebrated under the theme, Stand Up for Someone's Right Today. The signing of the Constitution into law was one of the key achievements of the ANC. It marked the beginning of the journey towards a new society that all of us can be proud of. Namhlanje sikupa iminyaka engamashumi amabili seloku umongameli wethu esimthanda kakhulu ubaba Madiba asayina khona umthethosisekelo omusha wezwe lakithi eNingizimu Afrika. Lo mthethosisekelo waqeda inqubo yobandlululo waletha uhulumeni wentando yeningi. Abantu baseNingizimu Afrika bazizwa bevikelekile kakhulu ngenxa yomthethosisekelo ngoba uvikela amalungelo abo bonke abantu base South Africa. Awukhethi bala, awukhethi ukuthi uhlalaphi. The Constitution is also a roadmap that we use to change South Africa, to improve the quality of life for all as the ANC in government. Life in South Africa is improving each day. The Constitution states that people are entitled to services such as water, electricity, social security, education, health, and others. If we talk about the delivery, as we have seen that today there was a delivery of houses, that is implementation and fulfillment of what the Constitution demands of us as a nation. Government has thus developed programs since 1994 to bring about these services, some of which people were denied because of their color of their skin. Progress is being made on food security, land reform, and agrarian reform. For instance, government has distributed nearly 8 million hectares of agricultural land to previously, historically disadvantaged individuals and families against a targeted 24 million hectares. Households are being supported to participate in subsistence farming in rural areas. Government continues to restore dignity through the provision of housing and quality basic services to our people. Over 3.7 million houses have been built since 1994. Government still has much work to do in upgrading informal settlements. Programs are happening in that area. We have said to people, water is life and is a basic necessity for our people. Government continues to build dams and to extend water and sanitation to many families, even though close to 13 million households have access to sanitation. More still needs to be done to achieve universal access. The rollout of electricity has increased in terms of the number of households from 10 million in 2007 to 15.4 million with access to electricity, which is 91%. Our constitution enjoins us to educate our children and youth to become future leaders and proficient citizens. And this is what I think this province is doing. That is why government has expanded access and improved the quality of education. There has been a steady increase in the overall matric pass rate to reach 71% in 2015. Our success includes 26% of grade 12 learners achieving a bachelor's pass in 2015. We naturally want to see an improvement in the year 2016. Since 1994, we have almost doubled the number of students in higher education institutions, now close to 1 million students. Enrollment at training and vocational education and training colleges stood at more than 700,000 in 2014. In 1994, the figure was 150,000. The doors of learning have been opened indeed. Advances have been made towards building a healthy nation. South Africans now live longer, with the average age being 62 years in 2014. More importantly, we have made dramatic inroads in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Uhulumeni wentando yeningi ususindize izimpilo zabantu abaningi abaphila negciwane lesandulela ngculazi ngokubanika amaphilisi. Sikhuluma nje badlulile ku 3 million abantu abathola ukwelashwa, osekwenze izimpilo zabo zangcono, bakwazi nokusebenza, nabangasasebenzi babuyele emsebenzini. Konke lokhu kwenziwa ukuba khona kwanomthetho sisekelo wezwe lakithi esiwuhloniphayo uma uthi abantu badinga ezempilo zibe ngcono, usho umthetho sisekelo. Ngamanye amagama uthuma isizwe ukuthi lesizwe kufanele siphile sibe ngcono. Umthetho sisekelo uthi abantu abaswele ikakhulukazi izingane nabakhubazekile abathole izimfanelo kuhulumeni. Ngempela bevile ezigidini eziyishumi abathola izibonelelo zezingane, ezabadala, nezabakhubazekileyo. Lokhu kuyasiza ukuthi sixoshe indlala emakhaya. Government is still not reaching all who are eligible. Government still needs to reach children under the age of 1 and those living in remote areas and farms. We continue to make South Africa safer for all. Police work round the clock to fight crime. We thank members of the community who cooperate with the police and report crime, and those who do not promote crime by conduct such as buying stolen goods. Today, we also end the 16 days of activism of our violence against women and children. We urge all to continue the campaign and promote safer homes and communities for women and children. Let us report incidents of abuse and violence against women and children during the festive season, and always, as women, have a right to safety and security. In other words, as we say, this is the end of the 16 days of activism, we are but saying the campaign does not end. Every day we should be campaigning against those who abuse women and children. The 16 days activism is in effect the reminder each year for us to continue that campaign. So we should not say, because now the days of activism have come to an end, then we stop. No, we continue working very hard until we are reminded again next year. The campaign continues every day. Compatriots, the Constitution says we must heal the divisions of the past. We need to work hard to break down barriers of divisions that divide us. We should thus continue to reach out to one another across the racial divide. We must build one nation, united in our diversity and promoting non-racialism and non-sexism. Building a nation means doing a number of things. We need to be a proud nation with our diversities. Our diversities are a strength to us, are not a weakness. Those who are backward, let us help them, take them by their hands to a new South Africa. In fact, racism is a backward notion in any society. If you are not backward, you can't be racist. We are all made in the image of God, irrespective of our color. And those who practice it are backward. They need to be assisted, and we should assist them. We all need to play our part in building a non-racial society. In this regard, the recent reported displays of racism on social media and various other platforms indicate that more work must still be done to raise awareness of this scourge and to demonstrate our collective intolerance and abhorrence of racism as South Africans. We suffered from racism. We don't want to go back there. We are pleased that the Constitution has allowed us to advance more women in our society, with 42.5% of women in legislative bodies in 2014. Work must continue in all spheres to increase this percentage to 50% in recognition of the role women play in society and our own constitution, which enshrines non-sexism. We congratulate the ANC Women's League for the achievements in this country with regards to the achievement and advancement of women. It is the Women's League that ensured the adoption of the 50% quota, which we all strive to attain at all levels in the public service, and which the private sector must also seek to achieve. It is important for us to recognize the fact that the struggle to empower women has been spearheaded by the ANC Women's League, which has impacted to society. And therefore, it is important to acknowledge that and be proud of it. That yes, Imbokodo iyasebenza. Bomme babereka. Basadi babereka. Abaswara Tipa Kabuhari. Hey, ibona ba. Because, as you know, you liberate a woman, you liberate a nation. You educate a woman, you educate a nation. You empower a woman, you empower the nation. It is them who carry a lot in society to make society to be what it is. I thought today I must give a common message. One of the stress that I'm making today, 20 years of the celebration of our Constitution, it is important to bear in mind that South Africa is not the same like all other countries. South Africa had an institutionalized racism. That is why it is so difficult for others to abandon it. It had become the way of life. It excluded the black majority from the mainstream of life in South Africa. excluded from proper education, excluded them from the rights to participate in running of the country, excluded them from social development. And this is a legacy we are dealing with in South Africa. We are almost like rebuilding a nation that was devastated by the system. It is important to bear this in mind, that one of the reasons our constitution is one of the leading constitutions, because it was not just dealing with few matters of any country, even if it was oppressed. In our case, it was dealing with the legacy of a huge majority that were not part of the mainstream economy and everything. And we are therefore addressing that. This point is important to be made because many analysts miss this point when they analyze South Africa, because they liken South Africa like any other country. Some countries that never had apartheid, but they talk as if there are shortcomings they are pointing at, as if it is because South Africans are dumb. And it is not true. Particularly, critics of South Africa fail to appreciate that we've made such progress coming from almost from the beginning. That's a factor to be borne in mind. What our constitution, therefore, is guiding us to do is firstly to address the legacy, but improve in the meantime and move forward. And we don't highlight this all the time, but it's a fact that as we celebrate our constitution today, we should remind ourselves and remind those who know they have to speak, who hold opinions, analysts, critics in particular. If you don't recognize that fact, then your analysis and your criticisms are not accurate. It's important for us to say this, and we can say it even if other people say, don't talk about the past. We know the past. We fought a vicious system and we'll never forget it and defeated it. And it is because of that that we must always indicate that part of our challenges today are challenges of yesterday. That's why, if you take education, doors of learning were not open. In fact, the system said the black majority do not need mathematics because they will use it nowhere. It was said by a prime minister of this country. They were not allowed to participate in business, in the main areas of business. They were supposed to have shops only in the townships. So they were not part of economy. That is why we talk about black empowerment, we talk about affirmative action, because we are addressing the past. And our constitution gives us guidance. All I'm appealing for is that those who want to talk about South Africa, they must not forget the facts. They must not pretend that South Africa has been like any other country in the world. That is why, in the first decade, we had to repeal apartheid laws in parliament and create new laws, a huge number of them. No other country did so, because they did not have the situation we had. It's a point that needs to be analyzed properly. If we are objective, if we are not perpetuating the negative narrative about South Africa, so that people should have facts. And when we say these are facts, it's not arrogance, it's just facts of where South Africa comes from that we should be aware of. We are very happy that today we have finished 20 years and we can see progress that is being made. That's why I said I'm very happy to see the efforts that are being put to young people in this province. I wish many can take example, because it is the concrete, practical way of building a nation. Thank you very much. You must celebrate, you must be happy, and I was happy to see a real celebration of this day. Wonderful. Kialebo, aho, hey. This way the pay, Kaurfella, Kiril, Etla Sebit. Let's South Africa here, even prosperous. Luki, Beatran, hey, Realebo, Habai, so thank you very much. Sabon.
Ke kopa bomme ba ka mo ka teng ba tshwere dikere tsa ke le phamise dikere dula fatshe bana ba